What were, just to set the scene, what were the early influences that shaped Lindbergh?
I think one of the earliest influences that Lindbergh had was his father told him a story from the family, and he made it almost like his father made it almost like a fairy tale. He would tell this story about his grandfather, who had come to the United States from Sweden and was had moved to Minnesota, cleared the land, and in 1861, Charles Lindbergh's grandfather actually cut off his left arm in a mill accident. And the story, as the story was told, was that everyone expected the old guy to die, as his arm was off and he had a piece of his long back was showing so that you could actually see his lung. And no one expected him, of course, in 1861 to live. But as the story was told to little Charles, his grandfather was simply too stubborn and too hardworking, too much of an individualist to actually die. That would be the lazy man's way out. And so Lindbergh's grandfather survived that accident. And when he was finally able to sit up in bed, he actually had Charles Lindbergh's father bring him his arm, his left arm that he had lost, gave a little speech to it about, "Dear good friend, it was so good to have you, but now we have to part ways." They buried the arm in the backyard. And then Charles Lindbergh's grandfather went on to get on with his life without his arm, rigged up a contraption that he was able to plow his fields himself with just one arm. Lindbergh heard that story again and again and again. And actually, he began to use that story as an explanation for what he considered his superior or genetic makeup. So he saw that as that it was his genetic treasure, so to speak, or his inheritance, genetic inheritance, that he was courageous individual, stoic in the face of adversity. And so Charles Lindbergh really used that story to really, that's his origin story, So that was a really early influence for him, and one he came back to again and again throughout his entire life.